भैया हमको मैसेज ओरिएंटेड फिल्म नहीं बनाना है because when I went and narrated a lot of message oriented cinema, I mean to say so called issue based cinema, which they always take, which they always take as message oriented cinema. So there's a difference between them. So one producer I remember I told him this is a very good subject, this is a message oriented. So that time he said, if I want to make a message oriented film, you tell me the message, I'll WhatsApp नहीं था, मैं forward कर दूंगा SMS पे लोगों को.
I'm here with the director Madhur Bhandarkar. He's going to be giving a talk at the HT Imagine Fest. Madhur ji, first I want to ask you your upcoming project. A lot of talk is coming about that, Inspector Ghalib. कोई बोल रहा है शाहरुख is going to be in it, कोई बोल रहा है somebody else is going to be in it. तो story क्या है?
See, it's too premature to talk right now. Okay. But definitely the kind of subject it is, Inspector Ghalib एक ऐसा subject, एक ऐसा issue मेरे ख्याल से on the sand mafias in the North India, and I think I have done a lot of research, like all my movies from Chandni Bar to Hindu Sarkar has been a great journey, and I always do a lot of research to it, and that's the reason I took a little time for 6-7 months in researching the whole thing about the nexus and about how things work in the sand mines and how things happen, the modus operandi and all. So थोड़ा सा मुझे time गया, and I'm happy I've concluded the script, and I don't want to say right now anything about who's going to star in the film, but definitely the script is very interesting. The Ghalib character is very interesting. The Ghalib character is very quirky, very gritty, very witty, very flamboyant, and you have a lot of shades of this character. He's basically, and it's a very different kind of a subject for me, and it's an action oriented film completely, and it will be, I mean to say, little larger than life.
Okay, little bit different from the kind of stuff which you've also done before.
Absolutely. I feel this zone is very nice, and that UP belt and that whole thing myself have not done a film like that, so I would like to explore that thing also.
Moving on to this other thing which I've heard, I wanted to confirm whether it's true or not. You've also registered the name Taimur because you might be doing a film on celebrity kids, or that is also something which is just on social media?
No. I'll tell you one thing. As a production house, Bhandarkar Entertainment, we register a lot of names. We have a lot of titles, different titles, and my production house thought this title Taimur is very interesting. In the title, so they registered, and they told me we are ready to register this. So we have lots of titles.
Right.
We have titles like Bollywood Wives. We have titles like awards. So they are different kind of a genre which they feel it's popular or it can be registered. So it has been registered.
But because of the coincidence, I think all the talk.
Yeah, maybe that is the reason. Filmmaking or the film industry, it gets superficial. It is a superficial world. Let's be honest about it. It's a very superficial world. So we limit ourselves in certain areas of degrees, So you have to come out of that cocoon, and you want to do something on your own, or you want to see different world. Otherwise, I always say in Mumbai, the film industry starts from Bandra and ends at Oshiwara. So that is basically the length and breadth of the film industry. Mostly, usually 99% of the film industry is there. And sometimes what happens is you get so engrossed with that world. I don't belong to any coterie. I don't belong to any lobby. I have in my own world I stay.
You mentioned this before.
Earlier also. I'm basically in my own world.
One thing I wanted to ask you, your first film was Trishakti, which didn't do well at the box office, and the second film, of course, won a national award, Chandni Bar. So how was it that Tabu got to work with you, agreed to work with you?
Well, it's a long story. I'm sure it cannot be... we cannot get over so many things, but it was first movie was a very badly received at the box office, and Trishakti happened also because a lot of people advised me, when you're making a first film, debut film, so they advised me that first film cannot be in 96, 97 I'm talking about, when I want to make the movie. So they said then that time the whole zone was of masala, larger than life, that kind of a regular template of cinema which was there, and they felt that this cinema only works at the box office, or these are the things. So the producers होते थे, तो उनका एक ही था कि भैया हमको message oriented film नहीं बनाना है, because when I went and narrated a lot of message oriented cinema, I mean to say so called issue-based cinema, which they
Which
always
you started
take,
doing later.
which they always take as message-oriented cinema. So there's a difference between them. So one producer I remember I told him this is a very good subject, this is message-oriented. So that time he said, if I want to make a message-oriented film, you tell me the message, I'll WhatsApp नहीं था, मैं forward कर दूंगा SMS पे लोगों को. I won't make a film. So that was a very prompt and precise answer what he gave me, because ultimately I see it's the money which is riding on you people. Money business proposition is there. So people want to be safe. They don't want to give message. बोला आप message देना कितना है आपका 500 दोस्त है आपके, उनको बताओ क्या message देना, मैं SMS में भेज देता हूँ सबको क्या message है, मेरे को message के लिए film नहीं बनानी है. So at one particular time in my life I felt that I want to make a film which it is like masala film. It has to all ingredients. It has to have a pakka item song, Gana, everything which is you know, the audience get happy. So the producers were very clear about it. So these things happened, but I knew it somewhere in my heart that this is not my conviction. But again, the beggars can't be choosers. So that's how I said कि चलो I'll make a film. Beginning में at least I'll get a break, because when I don't have people from the film industry who support me. My father is not a producer. I don't have a brother who's a big star. So there are a lot of things which were there, and I was just trying to get out of that thing to get a break.
Right.
And that's how I didn't work. But anyway, somewhere inside there's always subtext to it. Ke the craft of my movie, I mean, it's a technical thing which I made in Trishakti, got an industry in certain pockets. They said this guy knows his job. He knows technical. He's a guy who knows his work craft. But he needs a good script. But then Trishakti was not my fully conviction film. Like it was like film which was gathered by collectively different people, and that's how I wanted to make the film. And then Chandni Bar idea stuck to me, and that's how I started exploring. Went to beer bar, some 50-60 beers bar I went.
Oh, wow.
I went to a lot of bars, a lot of friends I used, because I didn't have money also that time. To go to a bar is a very expensive journey. So I went to my friends who are bar hoppers, and I used to tag around with them, and they used to take me, and that's how I got a lot of access. I started knowing a lot of owners of the bar. So that's how they used to allow me to come and sit. Even if I don't drink, I would sit in a corner and observe things, observe people, how the girls come in the day, how they go in the night, how there's a van standing for them, taking them in the van, and how the customer behave and what. So these things which I did for regularly for 6-7 months. And that's how Chandni Bar was born. And Chandni Bar idea, which me and my producer Mr. R. Mohan narrated to Tabu, and Tabu loved the idea, and she felt that this is the character of Mumtaz, where she could see herself in that role, in the character as a protagonist, and that's how the Chandni Bar journey began. Right. And since Chandni Bar, it has been a great run for me in my career, and the kind of cinema I want to make, I believed in it. Satta, Page 3, Corporate, Fashion, Heroine, Hindu Sarkar, Dil To Bachcha Hai Ji, all the movies, which I believe this is the kind of story I want to tell. I make movie in a very budgeted way. I don't over budget my film. I know my craft, so I know the kind of budget. Some film maybe have not done well, but budget doesn't go wrong for me. So even if break even, to you make a price. Like Hindu Sarkar, I made a 6.5 crore movie. 40 days I shot the film. So we recovered the cost of the movie.
You have to rush off for the event. So I'm going to ask you one last quick question before I let you go. Is it true that actually you're in cinema, in shooting, in direction, you have no formal education, but you used to deliver VHS cassettes, and just by watching all those movies, you gathered all your knowledge?
Yeah, absolutely. I have never been I never did my matric also. Yeah, I never went to school. I went to school till 6th standard. After that, I didn't go to the school because I came from a very poor backdrop, and I came from I was not a very good student also, to be very honestly. But my only thing about it, I was very well read. I mean to say, I still read books. I still like travel. In spite of my stopping of my school, and the circumstances of my house was such, at that particular age in small time, after 6th standard, I became a video cassette library boy. I should deliver video cassette for 4.5 years. At the same time, when people used to go, like my friends, everybody, they used to go to school, and I used to deliver video cassette home to home for 4.5 years. But my vast knowledge of cinema gave me a lot of perception into the world of cinema. Post my video cassette days, I used to watch all kind of cinema. There were Manmohan Desai, Prakash Mehra, Satyajit Ray cinema, Ritik Ghatak cinema, Balachandra cinema, South cinema. I used to watch all the kind of movies. As a filmmaker, when people used to probably read a Tintin or Amar Chitra Katha or a Region Digest, I used to watch only movies. So I got the whole perspective about cinema so much that I used to watch one movie for six times, and I used to watch different aspects of it. Maybe another friend of mine would just saw a movie and entertain, and he would forget the film. I would see how it is shot, how it would be, why the song is shot like that, why this shot is out focus, why there's a trolley to it, and I used to watch a lot of shootings also. So parallelly, when I was a video cassette library boy, I had access of a lot of actors I used to give video cassettes to. A lot of actors in Bombay, like, So there were times where I had access for me to go to see a shoot, which was very normal for me. Watching shooting for 3 hours, 4 hours, standing over there, I used to see how the cranes come from down to up, why a trolley is being. I was an observer.
Right.
That's how things started, and so that journey was such that I had a good experience about it. At the same time, as for my reading, my education comes, I'm a quite a bit well-read person, I would say. So I used to read a lot. I was constantly a reader. Absolutely, I was to read a lot. I used to meet a lot of people, interact with people. Today also, like, I'm a person who likes to. I'm a very extrovert person. I interact with anybody. I mean, it's like that for me. If tomorrow my driver doesn't come at home and I want to go to the office, so I take auto rickshaw and go. So I won't say no, अभी किसी को बुलाते हैं, कोई गाड़ी आएगी, नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. I take auto and go.
ये नहीं कि Mercedes में जाना है.
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं, ऐसा कोई नहीं, कोई qualms नहीं है. So I take auto and I'll go. कि चलो जाते तो I'll speak to the auto वाला. I'll be friendly to him. Then he'll say what it is about his life, his journey. So it's very interesting to know people. So I think that is very necessary to whichever zone I've explored, like a traffic signal or a pastry or a corporate world or Under Trials, the movie on jail. So I've seen them closely, meet them, I get the whole ringside view, what it is, exactly how they interact with it.
Anyways, thanks a lot for taking out time for us, and you got to rush for the talk which you're doing, but all the best for the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.